everyone, I'm so excited because I finally got my hands on a Court of Silver Flames. Yes! Why am I so excited? Because I had to do 2 post office to finally find where my parcel was delivered, kind of, because I didn't receive any slip for that. I just knew the book was delivered somewhere and I found it finally. To be honest with you, I was not super excited for this one when I learned it was coming out because I'm not a big fan of Nesta at all. I don't like her character. And so this one was not one I was super expecting, but I really love Cassian. And then with all the hype on Bookstagram, in the end I decided to cave and I bought the book, and now I am for real excited to start it. So actually I started already. I picked it up yesterday evening and I immediately started reading. I read around 80 pages, I think, which is not that much for this huge book. Also, before I forget to mention that, this vlog is gonna be all about this book and it's gonna be very spoilery because I'm gonna share with you everything I'm feeling while reading it. So on the 80 pages I've read so far, I feel like there's a chapter I've read already. Maybe it was like a bonus content in A Court of Frost and Starlight or something, I don't know. But basically we have Nesta who's wasting her life away, kind of. She's drinking a lot, she's sleeping a lot with a lot of strangers, she's trying just to shut down all of her thoughts and emotions and feelings because she can't deal with what happened during the war. And so we find her in that state where she's miserable, she's not super happy, and all of her family and the Night Court are doing an intervention, kind of telling her, okay, that's enough, we're cutting the money we're giving you out and you're gonna have to train with Cassian and get better, kind of. So she's living for the House of Wind with Cassian and he's supposed to train her with the Illyrian, which are still, they are still assholes, by the way, like very sexist assholes, but she doesn't want to. So that's kind of what we have here in the first chapter, and we can already see that Cassian is still way too sexually obsessed with Nesta, but that was expected. And after 80 pages I can tell you that I still hate her. It didn't get better so far, so I'm still giving her a chance. That's her book, I'm sure she's gonna get better, but so far I'm just still pissed at her attitude so much. I understand where it's coming from, and I understand why she could be reacting like that to what happened, but I like my characters to evolve, and she feels stuck to me for now. I know it's because she was not the main characters in the other books, and I'm sure it's gonna change there, so I just have to hang on till it happens. So, like I said, I read 80 pages yesterday, and I hope to read a few hundreds today. We'll see. Hi again, so I'm ready now to take a few hours to read. I'm gonna make myself some London fog to have a more cozy moment. I just realized I was a bit more focused on the negative in what I told you about the first 80 pages, but I'm also really happy to see the old characters I loved again and Valkyries and all this world building. So it's not like all frustration about Nesta. I'm still happy that I'm reading this book and I've been diving back into this world, and I know I'm gonna binge read it, like I know that for sure. So now I'm just gonna get cozy and read a few hundred more pages of this book, and then I'll see you soon and let you know what I thought. Okay, so I haven't gone far, like furthermore in the book, but the coincidences in life, it's crazy. So in A Court of Wings and Rune, we met a human queen called Vasa who was imprisoned by a sorcerer. I don't know what's his name, but, well, a Dark Lord, something like that. And she was a woman by night and something like a firebird by day. And when I read that, it reminded me of Vasilia the Brave in the Russian folklore. I was like, okay. And then now, in this book, we are introduced to Koshchei, which is the lord who imprisoned Vasa. And it's such a coincidence because Koshchei the Deathless is a big part of Russian lore as one of the first godlike creatures. And what's funny is that a few weeks ago I read a book called Deathless that's about him, about Koshchei the Deathless. And now he's in this book too. Like, what's life? And so he's gonna be, I guess, the new bad guy in this story, because we have all the Nesta thing happening, but we also discovered that there's a war brewing. So between Baron, the Lord of the Court of Autumn, and he's apparently allying himself with the human queen who was turned into a crone by the cauldron in the book before. I'm telling you all of that, I didn't remember at all. I have no memories of all of that happening. I'm just rediscovering it in the book. And so they are allying to, I guess, start a new war with the Fae, and they are also allying with Koshchei. So that's what we are guessing for now, and Cassian is going to be involved in all that thing as a general. So that's why we're following it from his perspective. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. I thought it was so funny that a few weeks after I read about Koshchei and so knew who he was, because Deathless is really focused on the Russian lore, and now he appears in this one. Of course, I guess it's gonna be different because it's like Tarajima's version of it, but it's very interesting that here we are exploring a new folklore in this universe with the Russian legends. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna go, and now I'm gonna get back to reading. Okay everyone, so things are moving up. Yeah, I'm at page almost 200 now. Lots of things happened. I'm starting even to like Nesta, like everything's possible now. But she just stopped having her tantrum, kind of. Again, I understand where it's coming from, but I just wanted to see her evolution process, and it's starting now, finally. So she started her training with Cassian. They found a way to make it work, and she also started working at the library where all the priestesses, that's a hard word to say, who were hurt by men can find a job in a safe place, basically. So she works a few hours there, and she met two new female characters which are opening her up, I think, because they are not part of the people with whom she suffered. They are not part of her family or the Night Court. They are new people, so I think she can be more open with them, which allows her to be more than just angry and hurt, which I like. So the first one is Emery. She's an Illyrian female who got her wings clipped, and so she owns a shop and they start talking together. And the other one is Gwyn. She's a priestess who works at the library, and they started like becoming friends, kind of. So I'm really happy to see new female characters, and I think they open lots of possibilities. I have hopes for something, but I don't know if I'm telling you, because if I'm wrong, I'm gonna tell you. Two things. First, we have Gwyn, who is working for someone doing researches on the Valkyries, who were a group of female warriors in the old time. And I hope that with Nesta, some way the Valkyries are gonna be reborn, first thing. And then the other thing is Cassian told Nesta about the blood rite, where the Illyrian future warrior have to fight each other to a mountain top, and that female never do it because it's even more dangerous for them and everything. And so part of me hope that Nesta will do the blood rite, but I don't know, maybe I'm just like dreaming completely, I don't know. What else did I want to tell you? Oh yeah, so things that could hint in this direction are that Nesta opened up her training to other female who would like to participate, like the princesses. Nothing happened yet about that, but I love this decision that she took. I think it brings a very interesting direction to the book, and to her character, so that's what made me start to love her. Other than that, the freaking sexual tension between Nesta and Cassian is crazy. Especially Cassian, he's thinking about that every time. It's like, it's a bit too much, but at the same time, I was expecting it, so it's okay. Say it though, I laughed so hard at one part because, okay, Cassian is training Nesta. And then he tells her, I'm gonna read it to you, you need to get the lactic acid out of your muscles. That's what's hurting you. How can Fae from a fictional universe who are healing by magic and never like worked on genes or on like how the body works so much in detail know about lactic acid? I don't know, that sounds so ridiculous to me. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. The choice of some words to talk about sexual acts, like pumping. I've never seen this word so much in one book in such a short amount of pages. It's an ugly word, I'm sorry. Like, there are other words you could use. Just give such an image in your mind. Oh my. So half of the sexual thought and everything, I'm just laughing because it's so ridiculous. But anyway, I'm really happy I got into this book because it has the same effect on me as the other Sarah J. Maas book, which is making me obsessed with it. Even if I can see the flaws, I'm still obsessed with it. So I'm really enjoying it so far. So 200 pages and I still have a lot to go on. I'm not super invested in all the political stuff yet because I think I forgot a lot from the other books. But I'm gonna get there, and now I have to go and edit a video, and I hope to get back to reading after. Hey everyone, welcome to the third day of this vlog. Well, I mean, it's shorter for you. But anyway, so yesterday I told you I would edit my video, but actually my computer was doing the longest update ever. So I had nothing else to do but to read more. And then I also read before going to bed. So I'm now at page 308, chapter 29. So I moved forward quite a bit and I'm happy with that. How can I say that properly? I feel like the last 100 pages were mostly about sex. And Nesta and Cassian acting on their sexual tension toward each other in different ways. Lots of pumping involved. And I was not expecting, okay, I was expecting the sex scenes, for sure. I knew that, I read her other books and everything. But there's one I was not expecting it to be so descriptive, so I'm still like, yeah, okay, so I'm trying to get over that. Also, in an interview, I think Sarah J. Maas said that she had to remove some of the sex scene because they were like too much. I guess for the classification of her book or something. And I have a hypothesis on what these sex scenes could have been, and I want to share it with you because that's the juice we're here about, right? When we read Sarah J. Maas. Let's be honest. So Nesta is having thoughts of what it would be like to have intimate relationships with Cassian and Azriel together. So she's thinking about it briefly, a few sentences, and my feeling is that maybe the sex scenes that were deemed too intense for the book and too far out there were the ones involving Nesta, Cassian and Azriel together. That's what I think. Maybe they're gonna happen for real in the book, I don't know, but for now that's what I think. So let's move from that big part We finally have Gwyn and Emery coming to training, which is super exciting and something I'm really rooting for in this book. Nesta and Cassian are slowly opening up on their life. That's interesting to read about. And the political conflict with Koshi and everything is taking a bit more shape. We have now we now know that they are looking for, that I don't say something wrong, it's the Dread Trove, which are 3 objects that were made by the Cauldron and that have special powers, and if someone were to wield them, well, let's say all the fairy court will be in a very, very bad position, because one can raise the dead, one can force other people to do what you want, and the third one I don't remember. But yeah, they are magical objects that are hidden and lost, and now the Human Queen and Koshi and they want to find them to free Koshi and I guess gain power and everything. So the Night Court team, we're gonna call them that, asked Elaine and Nesta to help finding them because they were also Cauldron made. So technically they can connect with the objects and find them before the bad guys do. I think that's gonna be it for now though. I'm really happy that Nesta is way more bearable for me, and fingers crossed that there is gonna be more on the Valkyrie development or something, because that's something I really, really, really want to see. Okay. And I guess we're gonna have more sex too. That's okay. So I have some stuff to do today, but I'm definitely hoping to read at least 200 more pages. That would be great, and it would be even better if I could finish the book tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm very happy that I'm reading it. I always have this unique feeling when I'm reading Sarah J Maas books. I don't know why. I even want to reread A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin now. That's how bad it is. Anyway, I'll see you again soon. How am I supposed to read when I have this baby next to me? Good morning! Yesterday I read and read and read and read until it was almost 2 AM. I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. So I didn't finish the book, but I'm pretty close. I have like 100 pages left. I couldn't continue. So I was like, okay, you can take one night off and then finish it tomorrow. You're gonna be fine. Yeah, I would say I loved it, even if it's not perfect. It's exactly what I was expecting from a Sarah J Maas book. I read a lot, so I'm gonna try to remember what I told you from last time. So their part I'm not a super fan of. It's the part with Elise, Lucian's brother, because I don't know, the way they decide to react to him, the way he reacts to them, doesn't feel really plausible or logical. So these are weird parts for me, and I don't see the logic in them. So the war political plot is moving a bit, but not too much. So I realized I forgot to tell you things because I read so many pages without talking with you about it. So we have Nesta, who finally scries, is that the word, scrying? The scrying, to find the mask, and she finds it in the Ovid. some weird area in the middle where all the old creatures are, and it's very dangerous to go. It's not written here. I think it's Ovid or something like that. Anyway, and she goes with Cassian and Azrael, and they are separated at some part because Azrael got attacked, and Nesta is afraid that Cassian is gonna die, so he put her in a tree for safety, but she decided to go down and to go into the water to join him. And the first rule in this part of the world is to not go into the water, because there are kelpies, which are like very cruel magical beings who are gonna drag you, eat you alive under the water. So you don't want to go there, and she does. And of course, she gets captured by a kelpie. So that was an intense moment, but also she tries to fight the beast, but she doesn't really succeed, and she tries to use her power, but instead of calling her power, she calls the mask to her. The mask that can raise the dead, one of the Dread Trove objects. And that's when the cover of the book, which I have somewhere, where did I put it? Oh. That's when the cover of the book makes sense, because she put the mask on to escape the kelpie. Yes, the mask. And she raised the dead that were killed in this area, and so she escaped, and she appears like this new being. But fortunately she's able to remove the mask, which is apparently very rare. They think it's because she was made to, and like the mask, she can remove it. And that was a badass moment. So I really liked it, and brought more action into the story also. So that was cool. Nothing much else. Azrael doing some spying. Nothing big happening there. Nesta and Cassian's relationship, on the other hand, is moving further, I want to say. But it's like she does one step forward, two step backwards sometimes, but at least she's moving, you know. So we had some nice moments between them. We also see her relationship with the rest of the Night Court evolve, and my favorite part is how Nesta, Emery and Gwyn have a stronger and stronger bond together, and I love seeing that. I love them three together, and the Valkyries are reborn, like I was hoping. Super happy about that. Another thing I forgot to tell you is that we discovered that Feyre's baby has wings, and because she was in wing form when they made him. And so everybody's super scared, because as a high fae, she doesn't have the pelvis to get a baby with wings out, with Illyrian wings out. And so everybody's like, she's probably gonna die during childbirth. And she can't switch back form because it could be bad for the baby. So everybody's freaking out, and they harding it to her. I realized I didn't tell you actually, because it was also in the part I read after last update. But we discovered that Nesta can make objects with the capital M, like the cauldron made objects. So it hasn't been done since Millennial, but she can make objects. She makes a sword, magical deadly sword, a dagger, and another kind of weapon. And then so there's all this plot part around it that I really liked. How they decided at first to hide it from her, that she could make objects, because they were afraid of what she could do. And then when they tell her, she's really upset. So that allowed a lot of development for her character as well, which I really like. So Nessa is so upset that they hid from her that she could make this object, that she goes to yell at Amaran, who was the one wanting to hide it. And Feyre tried to cool it off, and that's where Nesta tells her that she's gonna die when the baby is born. So that's a shock for Feyre, and Nesta is upset at her, is upset at herself. And Cassian takes her away for a week to hike, to, I don't know, cool down and reflect and everything. and that brings them together and really is a step forward for Nesta, because it gives her nothing else to do than to be in her head and to say out loud things she was afraid to acknowledge before. So in the end it was a good thing for her, and everybody's upset at her because she talked too fair, but it's done. And also they're doing the blood right, so what I was hoping for there happened too. Like, okay, they were kind of forced to do it, the three of them, but they were doing it, and I'm so excited, and I'm ready for it. Like, I started with them waking up there and everything, and starting what they had to do to survive. I haven't finished yet. I think it's gonna be maybe till the end of the book, or almost, because I don't think much more is gonna happen in terms of war. Maybe some final reveal to keep us hanging till the next book, but I think otherwise it's gonna focus more on the blood right, which I'm really happy about. I wanted it to happen, so perfect. Yeah, again, lots of things happening, lots of development, and I loved it. And I can't wait to finish it, and at the same time, what am I gonna do with my life after? I don't know. Hey everyone, things are getting real. This is the last stand. I have like 50 pages left of the book and I'm not ready to finish it, to leave the world, to leave the characters. I'm not ready at all. But I'm going to finish it. I want to know what's gonna happen. I want to see how they win the blood right, because I believe that's gonna happen. And I really have forgot to tell you something that's important that we discovered, is that Rhys and Feyre, sea lovers that they are, decided to do a pact and like a bargain, so a fairy bargain that you have to respect, that they would leave this world together. So if Feyre dies in childbirth, Rhys is gonna die too. And I'm like, okay, Feyre, she's 20 something. She could lose her mind, she's young. Rhys is like 500 years old. Didn't he think for 1 second before taking this bargain? That's stupid, because now he can't put himself in any danger, because that would risk him dying and so her dying. Like, I know she might die in childbirth. They didn't think it through at all. But I don't think she's gonna die in childbirth anyway, so that's okay, but still, like, what a stupid idea. Seriously. Also, another thing about Rhys is that Amren and someone else maybe is trying to encourage him to become High King of Prithian. Before there were separate courts. At some point there was one Fae male who was High King and governed them all. So they're trying to encourage Ryzen to take that role now, but he doesn't want it, and he's also afraid of the reaction of the other court lords. So this is something I think we're gonna see more also, because they're like Amaranth saying, but there are all these signs, all these being of powers, like the three Arcane sisters being there and everything. So maybe that's something that's gonna happen too, if he doesn't die. Anyway, so that's just something I wanted to mention. I'm sorry, I feel like this vlog is a bit all over the place, but I've read too much without telling you. So now I'm a mess. And this is a mess. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm gonna finish it. I think we're gonna, on one part, finish the blood ride with Nesta, and on the other part, Cassian and Azriel went to save Eris, who has been captured by the Human Queen, but they realize he's not really captured and could be working with her, and I'm pretty sure something bad is gonna happen to them. And so Nesta is gonna finish a blood rite and is ready to confess her love for Cassian and that they are mates, because yes, there was this talk too that they are mates. We understand it, well, if we didn't guess it before, we understand it in the 6th scene that they are made, but she refuses it, and I think that she's gonna be ready to accept it, but something's gonna happen to him and or Azriel, while they are close to the human queen, like maybe fall under her control. I don't know, that's my prediction for the last 50 pages. We'll see how I do.
Right. I was right. I was right. Cassian got under the influence of what's her name? Briallian something? Briallian, yes. She got him. I knew it. I knew it would happen. And the girls kind of won the blood right too. Nesta stayed behind to give them time. I almost cried at that part. She stayed behind to give them time and they won the thing. I was right about Cassian. But where I was wrong is that there are pages left. So maybe what I thought would happen, but maybe we're gonna have a resolution. Maybe. I hope. Okay, I'm done. And I almost cried. I confess it. I almost cried. So yeah, the queen took possession of Cassian and asked him to kill Nesta. But in the end, Nesta powers awoken and she destroyed and made the queen. That was done very quickly. But then it doesn't end here. We assist to Feyre giving birth to her son 2 months too early, and it's not going well. So okay, I was wrong on that part. I really thought they would find a solution before or whatever, or later. I don't know. I knew they would find a solution, and they did find a solution. I just didn't think it would be that solution. Am I making any sense? No. But they go and they decide to do a C-section to Feyre, but apparently they know about lactic acid, but they don't know about C-section because Feyre is dying. The baby, they pull him out, but he's kind of dead too. So Reese is about to die as well, and Nesta, she has like that moment where she's like, not gonna happen, and she conjure all the dread trove to her, and she stopped time, and she kind of make a bargain to give all of her power back if she can save Feyre and the baby, and that was very emotional. So I almost cried, and all end well in the end. Feyre and the baby survive. She has a hand of anatomy, so she has an Illyrian women anatomy if she needs to give birth again, I guess. And let's not forget the important detail. Nesta changed her anatomy as well in case Cassian and her have babies one day. Oh my god. There's some part of this book that really makes me laugh. I'm sorry. But yeah, so all ends well in this book. We know there's still stuff with Crochet and everything that's gonna happen in the next one, but I'm happy at least there's no like big plot twist at the end of this one, and it's like a complete story by itself, and there's like a bonus chapter at the end, and I think it's really hinting us toward the next book being about Elaine, which we're expecting anyway. But yeah, so the next book is almost surely gonna be about Elaine, so I would guess the last one maybe would be about more. And I think we had Emery kind of hinting that she found more very to her liking. I don't know, we'll see, just a thought. So yeah, I love the book. I read it way too fast and now I don't know what to do with my life. But yeah, I try to share with you the thing that caught my attention the most, but there are a lot of things happening. With Aries, we kind of guess more that he's hiding stuff and he's not that bad and everything. But it was really good. It was what I expected from a Sarah J. Maas book in this world, so I'm happy. It was what I expected, what I needed, so it was great. I liked Nesta in the end. Okay, now I do like her. That's good too. And yeah, there were things that were making me roll my eyes, which was I was expecting, like too cheesy or anyway, but I loved it. I don't care, I loved it. So I think that's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed hearing me rant about the book endlessly, and let me know if you've read it, if you want to read it.
if you read any Sarah J. Maas or not, and I'll see you soon in another video.